Former Trump advisor and speechwriter Stephen Miller laying out what to expect from Donald Trump's CPAC speech on Sunday, his first public address since leaving the White House.
He's going to talk about the economy. He's going to talk about opening our schools back up again so our children can learn and socialize and develop. He's going to talk about, obviously, the immigration issue, which the president believes, and I agree, is political suicide for the Democrat Party. He's going to talk about standing up to China, bringing back our manufacturing jobs. And Larry, he's going to talk about that blue-collar working-class agenda.
Well, there you go. CPAC Chair Matt Schlapp is live in Orlando outside the CPAC ballroom where the conference kicks off today. Most people are going to be looking forward to Pete Hegseth speaking, but other people are going to be looking forward to the president, Matt, speaking. And I have to ask you, do you think Stephen, after you spoke to the president, do you think Stephen Miller's outline is the outline the president's going to stick with? He's going to speak for over an hour, right?
He's never not spoken for well over an hour. Matter of fact, one year he spoke for almost 2.5 hours. I think I had to go to the bathroom twice during that speech, Brian, being not a young man. But, you know, I think the problem with what Stephen's job was the other day on Fox is trying to say what the president will say. My belief is one of the reasons why people admire and like the president so much and miss him is because he thinks about what he's going to say right up until he starts saying it. So I think he's talking to advisors, people he trusts, trying to ask, you know, where should I go with this speech? He knows it's a very, very important reset for him and for the country and for half the country and so many people who are here in this ballroom.
Matt, when you have Mitch McConnell break from the former president, when you have Liz Cheney among leadership in the House break from the former president and stick with that stance, you have a divided conference. What can you do to bring it together? What is your message? Because I'm not sure there's enough spackle to do that.
Well, I would say that CPAC has played this role, which I wouldn't have predicted, where when Donald Trump was coming down the escalator and basically into the we're going to listen to the guy and work with the guy. And that turned into him getting the nomination and him being this great conservative president. I think one of the reasons he was a great conservative president is because people like us didn't just immediately go on the attack like so many establishment Republicans did. And they didn't really ever like Donald Trump. They liked his policies, but then they thought they could kind of shove him off the stage. And my message to these establishment Republicans is you don't have to like Trump to love his policies, and you should love the millions of people he brought to this coalition. It's no longer about the elephant, Brian. It's not just about the Republican Party. It's Republicans, it's conservatives who are this big, big minority in this country, and then it's these new MAGA supporters who might not have the same perfect philosophy that every conservative wants them to have, but they were attracted to President Trump. They loved his policies. They animated our movement. This is now a coalition. I want to grow this coalition. Anybody who wants to shrink this coalition, I think is making a critical mistake.
Right, and Matt, it's going to be also interesting because I know you're going to put Rush Limbaugh into the Hall of Fame, the Conservative Hall of Fame. You're going to have a great tribute to him because he meant so much to the Conservative Party and still does today. So everyone look forward to that speech, but there's a lot of great speakers there, too. Senator Cotton is going to be there, Ted Cruz, Senator Hawley, Kevin McCarthy, Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, Mike Pompeo, Ben Carson, and, of course, I'm circling Pete Hegseth's name. And, of course, you're going to speak, Matt. You always do a great job. Thanks so much.
I'm pro-Pete, Brian.
You are pro-Pete. So you're willing to take that stance?
Yes.
That's very controversial.
I will. I know it's controversial. I know.
All right, Matt. Go get him.